Hi, I'm Ramon, editor of Smart Hustle Magazine. We're at South by Southwest 2017 in Austin, Texas, and we're at the beautiful Dell Experience. And Elizabeth, thanks for being with us today.
Always love being with you.
And Elizabeth, tell people your full name and your title and your affiliation to give people a little bit about who Elizabeth is.
Oh, my pleasure. I'm Elizabeth Gore, and I am the entrepreneur in residence at Dell. And happy to be with you.
And what does an entrepreneur in residence do? What I see it as, you lead Dell's efforts to make sure they're looking at the right things in the entrepreneur community. Is that about right?
You can think about, there is no association for entrepreneurs, right? So I like to be their collective voice, both to Dell, but also on behalf of Dell. So we look at everything from trends and research, policy, and really try and understand their needs and how can we support them.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this aspect of uncertainty.
Yeah.
And it so happened right now we're taping. We recently had an election.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever
I heard about that.
You did.
Yeah.
In the United States, right?
I heard about it. Yeah.
And regardless of your political affiliation, there's uncertainty.
Sure.
What's your advice for startups, entrepreneurs who are like, man, we don't know whether to go left or right, up or down? What do they do?
Well, it is a time of uncertainty, but I tell you that the reason why an entrepreneur becomes an entrepreneur is because they just bulldoze ahead no matter what, right? And my biggest advice right now is don't wait and don't stick your head in the sand. A lot of folks are pausing to see where things go, and I would do the absolute opposite. I would charge full speed ahead. I do think things will even out.
Sure.
No matter what change in leadership, change does bring a little bit of what do I do, but entrepreneurs usually are on a time crunch. They're trying to get funded, and it's just not a time to stick your head in the sand. Now, what I will say is, though, also use your voice. Mm-hmm. It is a time where we have new legislators, whether it's state, national, or the White House, and they do listen to business, and so use that to your power.
Absolutely.
And have a voice.
Yeah, love it. And let's expand the uncertainty away from just politics. But what is your advice to the entrepreneur uncertainty? The line of credit didn't come in.
Yeah.
My biggest customer didn't buy from me.
Yeah.
Can you talk to that a bit? What do you do with that?
Well, I always think of cash flow. I think every entrepreneur deals with cash flow. And
hello.
I know, right? Me too. So uncertainty about finances is probably the number one.
Yes.
For whether it's a customer contract, whether you're doing fundraising, whether you're getting a loan. And my thing there is the numbers game. So you need 120 calls to get that one funder. And so don't get discouraged. So on the fundraising side, on your customer side, make sure to advocate for yourself. A lot of these, we don't pay for 60 days, we don't pay for 90 days.
Oh, forget about it.
Go in and advocate for yourself. Sit down. You might have signed a document, but go find a champion inside that, probably an enterprise company that can actually write that check. So when your uncertainty is high,
right,
work harder to beat it, particularly when it comes to financing and cash flow. That would be my advice.
And you're so right about that. I mean, I've worked at large companies, as you know, Elizabeth, and there's the policy what's written down, what you have on paper. But you can go to let's say it's Elizabeth. Hey, Elizabeth, listen, I know we signed the contract. I really need it. People who are decent people will do that.
Sure, absolutely. And it's the same thing in banking. Your banker is your partner. They want you to succeed, because if you don't, they don't. So, just because something's on paper, I know it's hard as an entrepreneur to lift your head up outside the product development to go develop those relationships, but you have to, because they will serve you dividends. If you're not having uncertainty now, I guarantee you will a month from now in something. So have those relationships before you need them. Yeah.
This is South by Southwest 2017. We're at the Dell Experience. I'm with Elizabeth Gore, entrepreneur in residence with Dell. And Elizabeth, thanks for being with us.
Oh, it's such a pleasure. See you soon.
Indeed. And I'm Ramon, editor of Smart Hustle Magazine.